Talbot. Lord Talbot. When I was a very young boy, on Christmas Eve, Mom would light the old oil burner in the front room, and she'd turn on the little black and white TV and pick one of the two channels, and then 15 minutes later, when the picture tube would warm up, Mr. Don Jameson would be sitting there with his family. And in the smoothest, most mellow voice you ever heard, he would read The Night Before Christmas. You all, I'm sure a lot of you remember that. And then we knew that Christmas was here. So I say to you, it was the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were snuggled, all warm in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Ma in her kerchief, and I in my hat, we just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I jumped from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, threw open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the crest of the new-fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below. But what to my wondering eyes should appear? A miniature sleigh, 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in an instant it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled, and he shouted, and he called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, and Prancer and Vixen, on Comet and Cupid, and Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the rooftop, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in an instant, I heard on the roof the prancing and the pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was covered in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bag full of toys slung over his back. He looked like a peddler just opening his sack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His little droll mouth, drawn up like a bow, and the hair on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of the pipe held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a nod of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He said not a word, went straight to his work, and he filled all the stockings, and he turned with a jerk. Laying his finger the side of his nose, and nodding his head, up the chimney he goes. He flew to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like down on the thistle. And I heard him exclaim, as he drove out of sight, "Whoa, Merry Christmas, whoa, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Never ending. I think you might work now.